Hey guys, welcome back to a new channel. This is still the same one, but we just have a new name. We rebranded, and that is why we have been away. We definitely wanted to come with substance and a reason to be here and not just waste y'all time. Like, I know you definitely enjoy watching the vlogs and the traveling and stuff like that, but we're trying to step into substance and give you guys a reason to actually be here that is going to keep you guys coming back and keep you filled.
Facts.
The name change, not about us, stemmed from prayer of like, God, like, you know, what is it? And you're just like, bro, it's not about y'all. Like, the fact that y'all sitting here thinking it's about you is about you. I personally felt like, you know, he didn't have his hand on it in a sense.
Facts.
So now that we take us out of it, and we're thinking about the people, you know.
We went from being like selfish to selfless.
Right.
And the whole thing. And I'll say also too, what we realized from our old channels, like we were trying to be what everybody else were being.
Yeah.
And trying to be in like their realm versus being in what we should have been in. You know what I mean? So like the Not About Us really is all about like, even though it's just me and Janee right here, it's not about like you guys watching us. It's more so about how can we use our life experiences and our values that we have gained to give it to you guys to help you guys not only flourish, you know, in your personal life, you know, but also in this world, also in your finances, also in your relationships, and it's everything that we have to give to somebody. Because I think the best relationship or the best friendships is all about what value do I have to give to you and what value do you have to give to me?
Yeah, pouring into each other. Like, that's a big thing. That's actually our phrase for 2022. Yeah, because we're in 2021 right now. 2022 is fill up and pour out.
Facts.
And so we're going to fill up with what we need to pour out to you guys. And we hope that you do the same, you know, fill up and pour out. Because it would be very selfish to think that our actions or what we're doing or anything that we decide to do in this life or say to other people or how we treat people only affects us.
Facts.
You know, it's very selfish to think that because you're affecting somebody else, whether you know it or not. You're affecting your unborn child or even the kinfolk that you don't even know of. Ooh, excuse me. But I think that's the biggest reason as to why we're now doing this podcast.
Yep.
So
this is more like once we really sat down and figured out like what our mission or what our calling is, this just resonated with me. I don't know if she speak her, but it really resonated with me. I was like, man, yeah, this is where we should have been the whole time.
Yeah.
But I'll say I'm glad we went through that old season, so now we can bring y'all what we should have given y'all. Because if y'all thought like what we're giving to you at first was good,
this is about to be a whole different ball game. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. This one's
like,
about to fill you up.
You'll still get your vlogs because we're still gonna travel.
Yeah, we're still fun people, but
he's a pilot, so he's definitely gonna want to show you guys where we go. But and I like to travel anyways, and I like the daily vlogs or stuff like that. But you're definitely gonna get more substance from this channel from now on.
And
go ahead.
I was going to say also, too, we will be giving you guys a daily verse, whether it comes in the beginning of the video, the middle, or the end. So just make sure you just stay for that word. Because, I mean, reading or getting the word daily to us is very substantial to us. So we know we definitely want to incorporate that into our new channel. Yeah, and it's not going to be...
Do you want to give the verse now?
Yeah, go ahead and give the verse now.
Okay.
I'm going to finish this up while she give the verse. And I also just want to say, like, we're not going to be Bible thumpers talking about, you know, if you don't do this, you're going to be condemned and all this other stuff. Yeah. It's nothing about that. You know what I mean?
That's not us at all. Like,
this is more encouraging.
We always tell people that we're going to judge ourselves first and look in the mirror first before we sit up here and judge you, because who are we?
Facts.
We're all in this life trying to figure it out, trying to do what we know is best or what we are taught.
Facts.
And if we can all help each other out, I think that's the purpose of being here, like to help each other. So we're not going to sit here and Bible thump you. We're not going to give you no church lingo. We're just not doing that. It's a waste of our time. It's a waste of your time.
Yeah.
We'll give you our scriptures and we'll use the Bible as a reference tool. I think people get that wrong. We'll use it as a reference tool and a guide, because that is how we live our life as far as our foundation as a guide. But we don't, it's not no checkoff list.
Facts.
Because we're not perfect.
Or we don't use it.
It's not.
or we don't use it as a loaded gun either to just
Yeah,
blow your head off.
Come on,
You
like,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that
exactly.
doesn't do no
We're
justice.
not doing that.
What you got for us today?
So the scripture for today is Jeremiah 29:11, and it says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope." 12. In those days when you pray, I will listen. 13. If you will look for me wholeheartedly, you will find me.
Thanks.
So,
And I think what changed our whole channel was like me and Janee went back to our roots. Cause I'll be honest with you, like our relationship has been good and it's been very great. But at one little point, it was like, man, we're starting to fall off somewhere.
yeah, and a lot of people will be like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are like relationship goals,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, we do not want to be y'all role models because I don't want y'all
I'm
to say,
terrible.
"Oh, look at that."
I'm
like,
terrible.
Don't look at us. Don't look at us. Go find somebody else to look at because
Thanks.
it's not us at all. We might be y'all favorite couple. Now I don't
Yeah.
mind that because
That's
we
different.
fun. But as far as like role models and stuff like that, I don't want to take up that mantle because people put so much expectations on you that you're supposed to be so perfect. And the question that will get asked the most is, how do you remain your witness and stuff like that?
Thanks.
And I'm just like, that's for another episode. But at the end of the day, I don't want it.
Yeah, that's
Don't
why
give
we
us that
said. That's why we
pedestal.
said it's not about us at
Yeah.
all. Like it's not about us. It's just about what can I give to you. But I definitely say I'm happy about where we're going and the roots that we got back into because that's what got us here in the first place.
Yep.
So I definitely feel like this is the one. This is the one. So
Yeah, I agree.
So I would say,
Because when we weren't doing anything or just like working and just doing the YouTube here and there, y'all saw the videos. It was like here and there sporadically. And I don't know, like I wasn't happy editing the videos because it was like people telling me, "Oh, you need to be posting more and stuff like that." I'm like, y'all come over here and do it. I'm in school. I got a job. I'm not worried about those videos. But now I'm excited to do this. So I will put forth time to do this. Like I've always loved using my voice to help other people. So I think, why not do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of, what this channel will bring. That's what the name is about. That's what the change is about. Change is good.
Thanks.
Change is very good, especially if it's helping you elevate and grow. But this first episode, besides it being the preface, we're just going to talk about how we met because that was a big question.
Yep.
Almost a year and some change ago, people were asking in our first Q&A, which is still up on our channel, about how we met. And I think it's a funny story because he was stalking me.
Definitely not. I say the story is not common of how most people say, "Oh, we met in a class or we met at a club." Like not trying to push down on nobody, but I'm just saying like our story isn't like what you would think it was.
No,
because if you heard my thoughts before I met her, you would be like, "Ooh, he with her or she with him?" After knowing that,
oh my gosh,
he was like, it couldn't be me. So
honestly, like I was a freshman in college, and I'll just give you guys the age gap. I'm 21.
23.
And so, what year did you graduate?
2020.
Oh yeah, you just graduated,
I graduated
last year. Okay, so yeah. So I was a freshman, which would have made you a sophomore.
Yep.
I was a freshman, and I was on campus or whatever, had seen this girl, and I'm Haitian, by the way, you guys. And so I seen her, I'm like, okay, like I thought I heard her speak Creole, but I wasn't sure. And then she turned around, and then I said, wait, are you speaking Creole? Are you Haitian? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, da da da. So we, chopped it up or whatever. And that was the first time I seen her and the last time I seen her. I was just like, girl, my mama's still in town. Like, she cook Haitian food. You can definitely stop by because my mama has an open door policy. First and last time I seen her. Fast forward, she knew him.
Yeah, she knew me.
And they were friends, like actual friends. And what I understood was that she told you about me.
Yeah, so from there, I'll pick up. So from there, she showed me, she was like, Delonte, what type of women do you like? And I was giving her my list and all this other stuff, right? And she was like, all right, that's cool. She was like, well, I met this girl, and she was like, her name is Janee, and she showed me her Instagram. And I looked through the Instagram site, I'm like, heck no, like, not my type. I haven't seen her hair yet. I haven't seen her in person. Because Janee had, like, braids in on, like, most of her pictures. I said, I got to see her hair. You know what I mean? And it was very superficial. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be real, that was just me at the time, and I was like, nah, dog. So I would say fast forward to that. After that, I seen Janee once walking through in the business building, and I just looked at her. I was trying to like do a little smile, like this guy didn't like her, but it's just like, hey, we out here, like, hey, how you doing? And she just mean mugged me, bro. I was like, all right, cool. That's cool. All right.
And in my defense, I honestly feel like I have like a bad resting face. Like I don't think I intentionally mean mugged you. Okay, well maybe you feel like I intentionally mean mugged you. I do apologize. Do you still feel offended?
Oh yeah, to the day I die.
I'm sorry, but I don't even remember like seeing him. Like that's the crazy part. Like,
that's crazy. You don't see me? Come on, now look at me.
I did not see you because my mind was not there. I was just like get out. I was probably passing that building to get to the English building, to be honest with you, because I always took that route.
And she was going the opposite way.
Okay, well, not that you know my route before I knew you. So from then on, I never seen him. I never heard of him or anything. And then we went to church with my best friend, and he got out of the car. We parked right next to them. And I saw the people come and started putting like tags on people's car, talking about if you don't move your car in a certain amount of time, you'll get towed. And so I was like, hey, like B, like let's go in there and let him know that, his car is going to get towed. I did say let's, but it was more like B, you go let him know.
Yeah.
So Brianna went to go and let him know that his car was going to get towed. I stood by her.
And look how Janee was standing.
Guys, I did not talk. Like I was not a person to just approach people and speak like that. So I just
was trying to be funny acting like she too good to speak. So like I said,
not the truth.
My friend told me that my car's parked in the wrong spot, and Janee is still being funny. I was like, cool. Like, all right, that's twice. Like, all right, cool. That's just who she is, right? So from there, we didn't speak to each other again. And then now at this point, now we're at
a church group, and I finally got invited to the church group. Me and my best friend went. And then we was going to a football game. Yep. About how far is Kirkton from? 40 minutes from here?
Yeah, 30, 40
Yeah, we
went
drive to a football game 40 minutes from here. And we were all in a car together, me, my best friend, him, and then the pastor's wife or whatever. And he was joking and laughing and stuff. And I was like, oh.
Bro, you... Go ahead.
I was like, oh, he's funny. Yeah. Like, he's chill.
She wanted me, guys.
That is not the truth. Just because you make me laugh don't mean, oh my gosh, I want to be with you. Like, no, that was not it. I thought he was funny. He was talking about 2K and talking about if you give me some money, I'll tattoo
your name
on my player. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this is ridiculous. Other than that, and I remember in the car, the pastor's wife had asked Delonte, like, do you have a girlfriend? And he was like, nah, I am not trying to have one of those because I'm not trying to get stuck in Grand Forks, da-da-da-da. And we were laughing because it was just like, it's true. Like, don't nobody want to be up here. If y'all see what it's like up here, it's like don't want to be here. But it just looks like we're still here.
Yeah. And I'll say from there, after we came back, all of us, it's time for us to all leave. And I told Janee and B, I was like, y'all have a good night, be safe. And then both of them were trying to act funny. So I was like, I know y'all heard me. I kind of yelled it. Like, I know y'all heard me.
But we really did not hear him.
But they said they didn't hear me, right?
We honestly did not hear him.
That's Janee's third strike at this point. Third, y'all. Third strike. And we don't even know each other, right? So I'll say from there, we came back to God Squad a couple more times. And
I don't know how he got my contact information.
I just asked y'all one day. I was like, they're pretty cool. I was like,
he was like,
they're pretty cool.
He was like, do you want to... Or I don't know if we exchanged Snapchats.
Snapchats first.
I think it was Snapchat.
He wasn't getting my number.
Excuse me. Oh, that is right. We did exchange Snapchats first. And guess who was the first one to message? He was definitely...
But why did I message?
No, okay. The first time you messaged, you was telling me that you got your 2K player back.
Oh, yeah.
Because he lost his 2K player. And we were like laughing because he was going on and on. But, that's neither here nor there. He messaged about his 2K player. And it was like sporadic messages. Yeah. Now, let me be honest and let y'all know something. Because we're going to have to pause the how we met story. Nay back then and Nay now, two different people.
Yes.
I was a little raunchy.
Don't too much.
I was definitely on Snapchat shaking a... First of all, I didn't even have a butt back then, so I don't know.
Being a little hoochie. No, that's like...
Not you call me out. But call me out on my mess, yeah. So I was a little shaky. a shaky, and definitely doing a little bit much. But then going back, he did say something to me about that on my Snapchat, and I was just like, that's interesting. Like, nobody's ever said anything to me. If anything, most of the guys who was on my Snapchat would always like try to speak to me or like want to have sex with me or like try to pursue something with me, and I was just like, bums. Like, want nothing to do with y'all. Not that they were actual bums, but that's just how I had it in my head. And I didn't want to be used, so I was just like, no. So from there, we kept talking. I think we FaceTimed a couple times before.
Yeah.
And we were talking like we've been knew each other for the longest of time.
I would say at that point, like probably after that, that's when I needed to wash clothes. And Janae had a free washer and dryer, y'all. If you know me, I'm very frugal. If y'all don't know, y'all will know soon. Very frugal. So I was like, shoot, that's free laundry for me. So I went over there and I was washing my clothes, and you know, it takes about 2 hours to wash clothes. And honestly, me and Janae just had conversations as if we've been friends since like 5 years old, y'all. Yeah. Like, we literally talked about everything under the sun. From the way we were raised to the way, like, you know, we want to raise our family one day, to just life in general, to what we're going to do in life.
Finance. Like, we talked about, everything. I think, literally everything. Yeah. And then from there, like,
we hung out sporadically. But still, it wasn't nothing, like, crazy. It was still no attraction at this point. Just like, oh, you cool folks.
Yeah, we literally would, like, study. I would say we studied together quite a bit. Yeah. And it was like, you did your own thing, I did my own thing. But mind you, there was no attractions in anything. I asked him to come over to help me put up my entertainment section. He was like, yeah, I'll come over and help you. Never did that. So I was like, okay, like, he's a liar, because he said he was going to come over and help and didn't help.
That's called payback, fellas.
That's called lying, fellas. Don't do that. So I ended up doing it myself, because, you know, your girl's a champ. Then I invited him over if he wanted to come over for dinner or whatever.
Spaghetti.
And I made spaghetti. So I didn't know that you don't make spaghetti for somebody's first meal that you're cooking.
My parents told me not to eat it.
Yeah, his dad was on the phone and was like, don't eat that spaghetti. And I was just like, what's wrong with my spaghetti? Like, I make some dang good spaghetti. Was that spaghetti good though?
It was good,
Okay, so it was easy to cook. Mind you, I just moved into my first apartment, so I wasn't looking to make, you know, gourmet meal. And who are you?
Facts. At the end of the day.
Okay, please. So that was pretty much it. And then we ended up taking a trip to spring break together. In this time, though, of, like, us hanging out and stuff, he did have a girlfriend at the time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, we really did not like each other. We were really just vibing. We're just friends and stuff like that, and had a good conversation. Then, you know, him and his girlfriend did split. Girlfriend at the time. Because it's not your girlfriend no more. Yeah. Okay. Just kidding. But, you know, him and his ex-girlfriend, they did split. We had sat, and it was closer to March, I want to say. I'd say it was February. And I was like, hey, what you doing for spring break? He was like, nothing. He wanted to go to Arizona. I was like, hey, like, I'm trying to go to Arizona because I have a clinical rotation that I could possibly do out there.
It was a business
I want to go see, you know, what's going on. So it was more on, like, a transactional thing. Yeah. When I tell you we sporadically bought the tickets and stuff like that, we was broke, y'all. Like, when I say broke. So
but we made it do what it do.
Some way, somehow, it was possible. Yeah. Went out to that trip, spent the week out in Arizona, and honestly, it felt like I knew this guy. Like, now that we look back, I'm like,
it's crazy.
I didn't know him.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have been on no trip together. Like, his mom will say to me, you kidnapped my son? I'm like, nah, like, he kidnapped me. So it was really fun, like, going on that trip at the end of the day. Came back, got into a car accident. He'll say to this day that I tried to kill him. But, you know, glory be to God that we both made it out of that car accident. Even that story in itself is crazy.
Oh, but before that, this is... Oh, no. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. You're right.
But yeah, so, like, during the, you know, the car accident and stuff like that, and we, like I said, we made it out safe. We were alive. Clearly, we're here making this video to tell you. And then after that, we went home because it was COVID.
We flew to MSP together.
Yeah, we flew from Grand Forks to MSP together. And then from MSP, we went to our separate ways. I'm from Texas, so I went home to my mama.
And I went back to North Carolina. But the crazy part about that time was, like, I dropped her off at the little Charlie trim thing, and I gave her, like, a last-minute hug, but in my mind, I wanted to tell her, like, I love you. You know, and still, at this moment, I still have no feelings towards Janae. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she would say, like, now looking back on it, like, at the same time, she wanted to say the same thing.
No, and I was going to. Like, I was literally going to open my mouth. Because you know how when people, you say, bye, I love you. Like, I was really going to say, bye, I love you. But I was like, whoa. It was like a bye, catch that tongue. Like, something closed my mouth because I was not saying I love you. I didn't even, how do you love somebody you don't like?
And you only known each other at this time maybe a month. It would be really, if we really be honest, maybe a month.
Or getting to know each other, if that, like
maybe
a month.
Maybe.
I didn't even know anything behind your, like, closed doors and stuff like that. Or your skeletons in your closet. So we never said, I love you to each other. But we did keep in contact during COVID and stuff and was talking and stuff behind the scenes. And getting to know each other.
Yeah. I was my accountability partner during COVID. Honestly. That's how I really started accountability partner.
And we set a pretty good foundation. Like, it was, the more we talked, the more we understood each other, the more we realized that, like, we've practically lived the same lives.
Facts. Or wanted to live the same life that we're striving to gain or go for.
That's true. And then in May, this is still before we started dating, he told me he loved me first.
Yeah, I did tell him.
Because I'm going to let y'all know something. February of that year, I was like, God, hide my heart in you. Because whatever man is for me, they're going to be for me. And I know they're for me because they had to find you to get to me. Like, that was my prayer. That was it. That was all. And he told me he loved me first. And I was like, okay, like, he said it first, and I know I feel the same way, so I can see it. So we said it back to each other. We weren't dating or anything. And then in August, I went to go meet his family in North Carolina. Went whitewater rafting. Had a blast.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then he asked me to be his girlfriend on the river. And that's kind of just like how that started.
She tried to make it so shy. Let me tell you guys, right? The guy said, y'all can get out the water. And honestly, like, people ask me, like, like, what made you ask Janee out, like, when you asked her out? Honestly, I'm the type of person where I don't do anything where I plan it. I am the worst planner. So, like, I was just floating down my back, and I just looked up, and it was like a mountain there. I was like, man, that's so beautiful. And at the same time, it was just like, ask to be your girlfriend. So I just looked over to Janee as we were floating down the river.
You want to be my girlfriend?
Basically. And she was like, yeah. And
you didn't say it like that.
I didn't say it like that, but I mean, basically, that's how it's simple. I said it like, Janee, you want to be my girlfriend? And she was just like, yeah.
Actually, I didn't say yeah that fast. Don't make it seem like I was just,
okay, you didn't say that fast, but
waiting for you to say.
No, but I was saying, but like in short terms, you basically just said it. Yes, you know what I mean.
I was taken by an awe. I'm just kidding. No, but I was like, wait a minute. Did he like ask what I thought he asked? Because I've never been nobody's girlfriend. I was just like, I knew for myself that I want to be a girlfriend to one man, a woman to the same man, a wife to the same man, a baby mother to the same man. Like, it had to be in one entire thing.
I'm going to say, I hope you've been a woman this whole time.
But yeah, so I did end up saying yes, and we told his parents, and my
mom about fell out. She's like, oh Lord. But after that, now like that's where we are.
This, a year and some change.
So people really ask me, when did I start liking Janee? I would say when we were at home during COVID, keeping each other accountable about staying in our word and talking about what we read. Yeah. That's what really attracted me to her. I'm like, dang, like, okay, she's solid. But so it was no physical. Yeah. Like, no emotional, straight spirituality. That's how it started for me. And then that's where we still are now. And I tell everybody, like, people like, how like long distance relationships? Yeah. But I would say we started basically long distance. And I love when me and her split apart because it makes us really go back to our roots.
But, to the foundation that we built. And it makes you go back and see, like, have you grown? Mm-hmm. And what are things that you need to work on? Because it's a difference from being alone and being lonely. Nice. I'll always say, like, we're not supposed to be lonely, but in being alone, you grow. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to be alone to get what you need for you. Because sometimes when you're distracted, because love and feelings and whatever you want to call it is all there, it's a clouded judgment. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's very important to sometimes have space from each other. And still to this day, we'll take space from each other. Like, he'll go home for Christmas or I'll go home for Thanksgiving. And it may not be the same, 6 months that we were apart. Yeah. But, man, them 2 weeks do be feeling long, though. Yeah. It be feeling long, especially when you've
know each other or see somebody a lot.
Yeah, so now, we're 1 year in to
What seems
dating, as society says, but we call it being together in a exclusive committed relationship. And I would say we've grown a lot, like individually and collectively. We've matured. We've matured, but we're still kids at heart. So I think I love that.
She's matured. I'm still immature. I'm working on the maturity.
No, he's definitely mature. Just he chooses. Like he is very selective. Very selective.
Facts.
But yeah.
But that's basically it.
Yeah.
But I would say you guys, appreciate you guys stopping by. Please tune in for the next episodes because each one of them are gonna get better. So
yeah. So
you guys,
like I said, we're gonna bring finance advice to you guys, and when we say financial advice, we're saying what works for us. We're not certified. Please, okay, don't attack us. We're just
don't take it's only financial advice, not financial principles or true like just take it as just opinionated.
So we'll bring relationships, most importantly our relationship with Christ, our relationship with each other, friendships, family,
any type of
singleness,
like any relationship you could think of, it'll be out there.
Yeah, so this channel is going to help you grow, help you think, help you have conversations that you haven't thought to have, and just put you in a good place. So we will see you guys back on the next episode. Peace.